was a really disappointing day to be released from the WNBA. It wasn't the ideal start, missing preseason and not getting many practices with the team, but that's life. This setback is exactly what I needed. Not many 19-year-olds get a taste of the best league in the world, if at all. And now I've never been so motivated. I can't wait to show people what I really can do. Onwards and upwards with a positive mindset and things to prove. Thanks to everyone for your support. Coming back better, baby. Okay, people, so I really like this image she chose. This was calculated, but I love it because it's an image of her and her other two teammates who got cut. And it's teammates who really didn't get a chance. Listen, James Wade gave Shiloh Hill minutes that he could, right? So, I mean, he really did. And in those minutes, she had one game where she did really good. And in the other games, she really couldn't do anything in those minutes he gave her. And it's because of what she says. She says, listen, I didn't get any preseason with this team. I didn't get a training camp. I didn't even get to practice with this team, really. Remember, no training camp, no preseason. And then when she got over here to the States, she had to quarantine. And then when she finally got with the team out of quarantine, she really couldn't practice with them because they were playing. Okay, so then he says, well, this is our top 10 pick. Let's throw her in the fire in some of these games, even though she didn't even practice with us. She played in the pros in Australia, so maybe she can just sort of figure this thing out. Okay, but it's just completely different. And so it was just rough for her. So what she did, she just hustled and showed she had a lot of energy. She made her free throws. She made a layup. She got us help to get a couple steals, and whatever she can do, just show her hustle and effort, because she didn't have any chemistry with this team, right? She didn't have any rapport because she didn't know these players. She doesn't know what they like and what they don't like because she didn't get to train with them, practice with them, play with them. And so that's a problem, right? So he throws her in there and says, figure this out with these little minutes I'm giving you, okay? And when you look at her minutes per game, right, it's not high at all. It's very low because you might see one game she played 10 minutes, but that's her putting her in and out in a total 10 minutes. Okay, so don't let that fool you to make you think that he played her a straight up 10 minutes straight. No, stop it. Okay, gotta understand, a lot of these minutes were in games where they were being blown out and it was at the end of the game. He'll throw her in there. Right. And in the one game, he wanted to see what she had because she just got back with the team. And here's Shyla, let me put you in there. You know, when you didn't even practice with us the day before, you were in quarantine. OK, you didn't train with us. You didn't have any preseason with us. Here, Shyla, you're our top 10 pick. Run in there and let's see what you got. Right. So it was absolutely ridiculous. She never had a chance. Right. But you see who liked this tweet. You see Paige Bueckers. Now, Paige Bueckers sees herself in Shyla. They're both 19. They're both young. Okay. And people felt that Paige Bueckers could play in the WNBA right out of her freshman year. And so she's looking at some similarities. They both play the same position. Okay. Both white women, 19 years old, great prospects. Okay, and so she sees some similarities. She sees some similarities between the two. And Paige feels her. Paige is like, listen, I understand. This is absolutely brutal. No training camp, no preseason, quarantine, can't practice. They throw you in there and give you some minutes and expect you to make fresh baked home bread, right? Like, are you serious? Like, no. That's impossible. Okay, right? And then you get people comparing what Dana Evans is doing to what Shiloh Hill is doing. Dana Evans hasn't been getting a lot of minutes either. She's had some games where she's got 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, And then some games where she's only got a minute and some change and things like that. But Dana Evans is averaging in all of her minutes, if you accumulate all of them, right, in all 6-7 games, Dana Evans is averaging 0.8 points per game and 0.4 assists a game, people. Let me say that again. 0.8 points, 0.4 assists, right? So I felt that was important to bring up since you have people like LaChina Robinson and some other WNBA journalists on Twitter saying, yes, Dana Evans finally would get an opportunity. Yes, this was a great trade. I'm so happy for you, Dana. Made no mention of Shiloh Hill. No mention, right? And then you look at these journalists and you say, oh yeah, that's right. They're all African American, right? So, right, these are black women looking at a young black woman, Dana Evans, and saying, we're rooting for you, Dana. But this young white woman, 19 years old, we make no mention of her. Get that white girl out of there. She should have never been in the league anyway. Are you serious? Well, let me show you some truth. Let me tell you some truth. The NCAA can't compare to Australia women's pro basketball, especially the league that Shiloh Hill comes from. That is the second best league in the world. The first league, the first league in the world, the best league in the world is the WNBA. The second best is the league that Shiloh Hill played in. Okay. That's the best, second best league in the world. And Shiloh Hill was very good over there. Okay. This is why they took her in the top 10 at 19. She was really good in the second best women's pro league in the world. NCAA Louisville cannot compare to the league Shiloh Hill came from. It can't compare. This is why he took her over Dana. Dana, you're doing your thing in college. That is completely inferior, totally inferior to where Shiloh Hill came from and what she was doing in that league at 18, 19 years old. We're going to take her, right? This is one of the reasons why Dallas took a walk at 19 years old, what she was doing in the pros, right? These women on Louisville could not make it in that Australian league, probably except for Dana, right? They couldn't make it in that league. Are you serious? They couldn't make it in many of these leagues overseas. There's only a few of them who could, right? So enough is enough. Dana Evans was doing her thing at Louisville, and it can't touch the pro league that Shiloh Hill came from. It's the same thing that happened with LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, 19 years old, dominating in the NBA, about to win should win Rookie of the Year. You want to know why? Because he played in the second best professional league in the world, which is that Australian league, right? And so it was an easy transition to the NBA. You got to but LaMelo Ball had a training camp. He had preseason. He was able to practice. That's the difference. You see, Shiloh Hill played in the second best women's pro league in the world, but she didn't get a training camp. She didn't get any preseason. She didn't get many practices at all because she was quarantined. And then when she got back, she just wasn't able to practice with them because they were already in the fire playing these games. So she didn't know her teammates. She didn't know anything. She was just thrown in there. Here's some minutes because we took you, and here, let me just throw you in here and see what you got because we took you in the top 10. That is a joke. That is an absolute joke, people. So enough with this whole Dana Evans garbage going on here, right? Just separate yourself from race and look at the situation. Look at the circumstances, okay? And just be honest with yourself, right? Just tell the truth. Louisville doesn't compare to the Australian pro leagues. Like, enough is enough. The team she played against in college doesn't compare to pro leagues. Like, enough is enough. Just stop it. These players were dominating the pros in college. You're out of your freaking mind. Shut up, idiot. And you see the way she's playing now. Look at Dana Evans' numbers. In 6-7 games, she's averaging 0.8 points per game, 0.4 assists per game. Some games she's getting 8 minutes. Some games she's getting 7 minutes and 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 18 seconds, 1 minute, 58 seconds, right? It's in and out, in and out. But the time she played altogether, she's averaging 0.8 points per game, 0.4 assists per game. Let me show you really quick. 6 games played. 6 games played. Dana Evans, 0.8 points per game. Actually, 0.5 assists per game. Right? So people, please, just stop it. Just stop it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough with this. She's a much better player. Didn't you see what she did at Louisville? Okay, well, didn't you see what Shiloh Hill did in Australia? If you didn't, go to YouTube. Go to freaking YouTube. Right? Like, stop it, people. Enough is enough with this garbage. And I know we're black, Dana's black, right? We're going to ride and die for our black people like this. And that's what happened with these journalists, right? They just couldn't separate race from it. They just couldn't separate race from it. Okay. And just like, oh my goodness, people, these people are an absolute joke. And it just, I hate it. I hate it, you guys. So anyway, that's really what I wanted to say about it. Looks like Shiloh Hill is going to do her thing whenever she gets back. But anyway, you guys take care. That's the end of the video. Fire James Wade.